art of essential living, designing your Japanese minimalist apartment. In an increasingly cluttered world, the Japanese minimalist apartment stands as a sanctuary of calm, a testament to the profound philosophy that less is truly more. This design paradigm is not merely a style. It is a way of life, rooted in ancient aesthetic principles that favor tranquility, natural connection, and intentionality over material excess. To design such a space is to curate an environment that nurtures the soul and promotes mindful living. The unique charm of this aesthetic lies in its ability to transform even the smallest urban dwelling into an expansive, serene haven. It is a fusion of centuries-old Japanese concepts, like wabi-sabi and ma, with modern, functional simplicity, a movement championed by brands like Muji and popularized globally by the KonMari method. The philosophical foundation, beyond decluttering, Japanese minimalism draws its power from foundational aesthetic philosophies. Wabi-sabi, the beauty of imperfection. This is the heart of the style, embracing the authentic beauty of natural, imperfect, and aged objects. In an apartment, this translates to furniture and decor that show the passage of time. A slightly weathered wooden table, hand-thrown ceramics with asymmetrical shapes, or linen fabrics with intentional wrinkles. It encourages a focus on quality materials that age gracefully rather than disposable, trend-driven items. Application: choose a dining table made of raw, unfinished wood with visible grain or knots. A single, perfectly imperfect, handmade vase becomes the centerpiece. The power of empty space. Ma is perhaps the most significant concept, referring to the intentional use of empty space, creating a pause, a moment for reflection. It is the space between the objects that gives the objects themselves their meaning and visual weight. In a small apartment, Ma is the strategic negative space, uncluttered floors, plain walls, and open lines of sight, that creates an illusion of vastness and promotes visual and mental clarity. Application: resist the urge to fill every corner. Ensure clear, unblocked pathways. A single, low piece of furniture in a room center speaks louder than an array of items. A connection to nature. The principle of Shurzen dictates the use of natural, unforced elements. The design blurs the boundary between the indoors and outdoors. This is achieved through the dominant use of organic materials and maximizing natural light. Application: prioritize materials like bamboo, tatami, stone, and especially light-colored wood, such as pale oak or cedar. For flooring and furniture, incorporate large, unadorned windows and sheer curtains to flood the space with Shurzen, natural light. Curating the minimalist aesthetic. 1. The palette of serenity. The color scheme is designed to evoke peace and mirror the tones of nature. Neutral base. Walls are almost universally white, off-white, or light gray, serving as a clean backdrop for the natural wood and textures. Earthy accents. Accents come from the natural materials themselves. The warm brown of wood, the muted green of a bonsai, the deep gray of a stone coaster, and the beige of tatami mats and linen textiles. Avoidance of excess. Bright, jarring colors are avoided. Color is used sparingly and deliberately, often through a simple ikebana, Japanese flower arrangement, or a single piece of artwork. 2. Intentional furnishings. In a Japanese apartment, every piece of furniture must serve a purpose, and is often low profile to visually expand the space and maintain a connection to the floor. A nod to traditional floor-sitting culture. Low profile and versatile. Think futons, low platform beds, and floor cushions, zabuton, instead of bulky sofas. Tables are often coffee table height. This aligns with the Muji philosophy of "this will do." Functional, unadorned, and universally useful. Sliding doors, shoji screens instead of swinging doors. Sliding partitions are used to save space and offer flexible, multifunctional room layouts. They filter light gently, creating a soft, diffused ambience that is characteristic of the style. Built-in and hidden storage. Clutter is the enemy of Ma. Storage must be seamlessly integrated. and largely invisible. Custom, built-in cabinetry that runs flush with the walls is key. Everything has a home, and that home is often behind a simple, unadorned door. 3. Textures and light. Texture and light replace ornamentation to provide visual interest and depth. Organic textures incorporate natural fibers like linen, hemp, cotton, and wool. These materials are tactile, simple, and naturally imperfect, satisfying the wabi-sabi ideal. A single, textured rug, like a woven jute or a traditional tatama mat, can define a zone without cluttering the floor. Layered lighting. Harsh overhead light is often avoided. The mood is set with warm, diffused, and indirect light. Paper lanterns, andan or chachan, offer a soft glow. Uplights or floor lamps that cast shadows strategically enhance the sense of depth and tranquility. The role of mindful tidying. The KonMari connection. The influence of Marie Kondo's KonMari method, while a modern phenomenon, perfectly complements the ancient minimalist tradition. Her emphasis on discarding everything that does not spark joy forces a resident to engage in the deeply intentional curation required for a minimalist space. Before an object can contribute to the serene aesthetic, it must pass a rigorous, personal litmus test. This practice, in turn, reinforces the philosophical basis of the design. To live surrounded only by items that are essential, purposeful, and beloved, the home becomes not a storage unit, but a finely tuned collection of meaningful things, maximizing personal energy and minimizing distraction. Creating your sanctuary. Designing a Japanese minimalist apartment is a continuous practice of restraint, not a one-time renovation. It is an investment in a quiet, sustainable, and intentional lifestyle. It encourages a shift from the desire for more to the appreciation of enough. By embracing the principles of wabi-sabi, imperfect beauty, empty space, and shurzen, natural connection, you create an urban retreat. Your apartment transforms from a mere dwelling into a vessel for mindful living. A place where the silence between the sounds and the space between the objects is the most precious feature of all.